I'm so honored to be here today to present the Impact Award to a wonderful family and very good friends. The Pinks, Richard, Gloria, and Beverly, who have been giving back to Los Angeles for almost 9 decades. The Pinks and Pinks hot dogs are icons in the City of Angels and a true American success story.
I think just keep it on the three.
There are very few things in Los Angeles as old as Pinks. I was going to say myself, but this family business began in 1939 when Paul and Betty Pink bought a hot dog cart for $50. Betty Pink was also a pioneer in giving back, a tradition that everyone in the family embraces every day. From humble roots, the Pinks truly embody the culture of the city. The generosity has made an impact and created a brighter future for the lives of so many in Los Angeles. They are wonderful people, and it is I'm going to start crying, my great pleasure to present the 2025 Impact Award to my dear friends, the owners of Pink's Hot Dogs, Gloria, Richard, and Beverly Pink.
Thank you so much. Well, in a moment, you will hear from the 2 women that have truly made Pink special and great. Let me tell you a little of the story. What began as a tiny pushcart in 1939, 86 years ago, has now become a symbol of perseverance, resourcefulness, and the American dream. From a humble start on the streets of Los Angeles, Pink's hot dogs grew hot dog by hot dog into a landmark known across the nation. Ours is a story not of privilege or luck, but of grit and the belief that with hard work, anything is possible. It all began with my parents, Betty and Paul Pink. They were out of work during the Great Depression of the 30s, when jobs were scarce, money was tight, and optimism was hard to find. One morning, while scanning the classifieds for work, they spotted a small ad that would change everything. Hot dog cart for sale, $50. My mother turned to my father and said, "Why don't we buy that cart, go into business for ourselves? Everyone loves hot dogs. If no one will hire us, we'll just hire ourselves." My father hesitated and then said, "But where are we going to get the $50? Without missing a beat, my mother replied, "My mother will lend it to us." And with that single act of faith, Pink's was born. At first, the cart stood at La Cienega and Melrose, but my mother spotted a small vacant lot at La Brea and Melrose. She was certain the corner had potential, so she did what only Betty Pink would do. She pushed that heavy cart 2 miles from La Cienega to La Brea to a lot that they rented for just $15 a month. But when they arrived, a new challenge appeared. There was no electricity, so they improvised. They bought a 100-yard extension cord and plugged it into a friendly neighbor's outlet. That one cord powered Pink's for the first 2 years, keeping the dream alive through determination and ingenuity. They teamed up with Hoffy Hot Dogs, their first supplier, who's still supplying to this day, and began selling hot dogs for 10 cents, and Cokes were a nickel. Business was good, but in 1941, the landlord raised the rent from $15 to $25 a month, a 67% increase. With their prices on hot dogs fixed at a dime, my parents faced a crisis. They couldn't afford the rent. But like so many times before, they didn't give up. They found a way forward. And now my sister will tell you that way forward. Beverly?
Then came a bold idea. My parents learned the land that the little cart was on. The people were going to sell the cart to the land for $4,000. That was an impossible for two people who could barely get $50 together. But my parents had something more powerful than money. They had belief in themselves. Across the street stood a branch of America. They walked in, sat down with the manager, and asked for a loan. "What collateral do you have?" "We don't have anything, honestly," my mom said, "but we have a great hot dog." The manager smiled. He was already a Pink's regular. "I don't want you to leave. Where will we have lunch?" "I'll take a chance on you." And with that, they approved the loan. To celebrate, my parents built a little canvas awning over the cart. They started with curb service because at that time, La Brea was a very slow place, and they tried to catch the people going to and fro work to help with the hot dogs. That setup remained until 1946, when a cousin of ours was an aspiring contractor, and he built the small hot dog stand that still stands today, 86 years later. In 1948, my parents expanded their dream with a flower shop next door. My mother had a wonderful gift for floral designing, creating arrangements for weddings, for graduations, and every kind of celebration. She worked tirelessly from dawn to dusk, running both businesses with energy and grace. My father stood beside her always, grateful for her unthinkable determination and remarkable business sense. By 1958, they reinvented themselves again, turning the flower shop into a men's clothing store called Paul Pink's Casuals. It thrived, but by 1961, my mother decided it was time to focus her heart on charity work, because getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to the flower shop was very hard for her. My father kept Pink's going strong until his retirement in 1986. That's when the second generation stepped in. Gloria, after 14 years, a dedicated school teacher, and I, after serving as president of the PTA and teaching ESL, took the reins. And eventually, our brother Richard, after a successful career in real estate, joined us in carrying forward our parents' dream. Now, Gloria.
From a $50 loan and a push cart powered by a single extension cord, Pink's has grown into a Los Angeles landmark, beloved by celebrities, tourists, and locals alike. But underneath the fame and the long lines, Pink's is really a story about two people, Betty and Paul Pink, who refused to give up. It's a story about determination, creativity, and the belief that even when the odds are against you, if you work hard enough and care deeply enough, success will come. So, what lessons have we learned from 86 years of serving hot dogs and building a business from scratch? Lesson 1, never compromise on quality. Whatever your product or service, it has to be excellent every single day. People can tell when you care about quality, and they'll reward you with loyalty. Lesson 2, make your business atmosphere unforgettable. Don't try to blend in. Stand out. Create something that people will remember and talk about. The atmosphere, the energy, the design, it all matters. When customers walk into your business, they should feel something special. At Pink's, it's the laughter in line, the celebrity photos on the wall, and the sense of shared history. You want your brand to have a soul. Lesson 3, build your team and treat them like family. You can't do it alone. Success comes from surrounding yourself with people who believe in what you're doing. At Pink's, many of our employees have been with us for 20 or even 30 years. Their dedication, kindness, and pride in their work are what turn a hot dog stand into a home. When your team feels valued, they'll treat every customer like family too. Lesson 4, market your brand by keep telling your story. Your story is the greatest marketing tool. Be proud of it. Share it often. At Pink's, our story reminds people that we started with nothing but a dream, and that dream still fuels everything we do today. And here's one more lesson that might be the most important of all. Give back to the community, which is the sincerest form of marketing. True success isn't just about profits, it's about purpose. Whether it's offering chili dogs for charity or supporting local causes, giving back connects us to the community that built us. That's why today we're pleased to announce that all profits from our popular Martha Stewart hot dog for the next month will go to Women, an organization that empowers and uplifts women in need. Some people call Pink's a Hollywood legend since 1939. We're honored by that, but we prefer to think of ourselves as the little hot dog stand that could. Because if there's one thing our story proves, it's this. With perseverance, imagination, and the courage to take a chance, even the smallest idea can grow into something truly extraordinary. Thank you.